Good morning and welcome to J World Huizenga Center at the Lillian S. Wells Pavilion. My name is Lauren Henderson and I am the J Finance Park Program Manager. We're so thrilled to have you here today volunteering your time and efforts at the Patten Family Foundation J Finance Park. Each year, more than 20,000 8th graders from Broward and South Palm Beach schools visit J Finance Park and discover how financial decisions impact their lives. These include expenses related to family health care, real estate, home improvements, automobiles, insurance, entertainment, education, and purchasing items such as clothing, furniture, and groceries. Imagine a generation of youth equipped with the knowledge to budget, save, and invest. With your help as volunteers today, the students will walk away with a better understanding of these and other financial literacy concepts. Before the students arrive this morning, let's review what you need to know to make your volunteer experience impactful.
First, I want to go over the student preparation. In order to prepare for today's visit, the students have had lesson plans pertaining to savings, investing, risk management, debit, credit, budgeting, and careers. They've had at least the 12 mandatory lesson plans. Today's students will arrive not knowing what their role is for the day, but they will find out as soon as they log into the simulation. Each student will work individually on a tablet, and they will start off with a random life scenario complete with their job, salary, credit score, possibly a family, and other things of that nature. After creating a savings account, students will research each business in JA Finance Park. Then, based on their NMI, which is their net monthly income, they will create a budget. Students will then go shopping for everything they budgeted for. At the end of shopping, students will have a chance to pay for the items they shopped for, and then review their spending analysis and budget reports from the day. Before we go through each part of the day in depth, I want to take a moment to inform you of your role in today's simulation, a few park procedures, and the tools you have to help you through the visit. As a volunteer, you play an essential role in today's activities. The students will be working on individual tablets, and with your support, they will go step by step through the simulation. You will be providing guidance and assistance, facilitating and leading group discussions and activities, monitoring their progress throughout the day, distributing and collecting materials, and watching out for teachable moments. At the end of the visit day, we will be collecting volunteer feedback forms from each volunteer. The staff enjoys reading what you and the students have to say about our program. It will only help us continue to grow. To help today run as smooth as possible, please be advised that outside of JA Cafe, there is no food, drinks, or gum allowed. Volunteers, there is an exception to this, and that is you can have coffee or a water with a closed lid with you inside the storefronts. The coffee station is outside of the J Finance Park doors down the hall to the left. For any student or volunteer looking for water throughout the day, there are water fountains inside of JA Cafe. To keep everyone safe, we have a no running policy. Please make sure to share this with your students. Restrooms for adults and students are separate. The student restrooms are located inside JA Cafe along the back wall, while the adult restrooms are located down the hallway in the front lobby area. Whether you step out to use the restroom or grab coffee, please make sure to take a key fob with you to get back into the park. For safety, the double doors will be locked when students are in the building. The key fob that you take with you can be found on the kiosk where you may have picked up a volunteer tablet before this training. They are on a green or a yellow stick. Please make sure to put them back when you return to the park for another volunteer to use. These are only to be used inside of the JA building. Along with the doors, I want to inform all of you of our no opening doors policy. To ensure safety of everyone in the park, please do not open up the double doors in JA Cafe or the double doors leading to the hallway. If you see someone, please make sure to say something to a JA staff member who is trained to handle this. For those of you who would like to take pictures of or with the students today. Please make note that if the student has a blue dot placed on his or her name tag, that specific student cannot be photographed. Lastly, for those of you who are college students getting hours for a class today, please make sure to leave your hours recording sheet at the kiosk with a JA staff member. At the end of your visit hours today, you will find this sheet filled out at the front desk in the lobby. In the case of an emergency, an announcement will be made on what to do and where to go by a JA staff member. If there is a code orange, we will be evacuating the building through one of the 4 emergency exit doors in JA Finance Park. These doors include the clear double doors in the back of the JA Cafe, the emergency exit door in the back of JA Cafe, the emergency exit door in the back of the Build Your Future, or BYF, storefront on your left. The last emergency exit door is in the back of the Broward Health storefront to your right. A JA staff member will help guide you and your students out one of these doors. Please help with the students in your storefront, as JA staff members will need to help with other storefronts. When exiting the building, we will walk across the parking lot onto the grass patch between the JA building and Broward College. These codes are the same codes that Broward County Public Schools follow. We use the same codes so that all students and staff visiting will be familiar with them. You can also find these codes listed in your volunteer pamphlet you received at the front desk on page 2. On a typical day, there will be 3 lunch rotations that coordinate with the student name tags: red, blue, and green. Each lunch rotation will be between 20 to 25 minutes inside of JA Cafe. Volunteers, please make sure to take the same lunch as your students in the storefront you are assigned. These lunch rotations will take place during the budget and shopping phase. In addition to our JA staff members who will be facilitating the day, you will have your volunteer tablet manual and volunteer binders that both have directions as well as conversation topics to help you throughout the day. If you are assigned to a storefront with more than one volunteer, please work together to help the students in that storefront. Lastly, there are Junior Achievement Volunteers, also known as JAVs. These are volunteers that volunteer on a regular basis and can help answer any questions you may have. The Junior Achievement Volunteers, or JAVs, can be easily identified by the gold name badges they wear. Now let's walk you through the flow of the day. When students arrive, they will do so at the double doors in the back of JA Cafe. After students walk through the double doors, they will be directed to the green carpet in the center of the JA Finance Park. While students are on the green carpet, they will have a brief orientation to start their day. After orientation is done, they will be dismissed to the different businesses. During this time, please stand in the storefront doorway to greet students as they arrive to your storefront. Once students arrive, please be sure to ask students to put their personal belongings off to the side to focus on the visit day. You may now look at your volunteer tablets or continue looking at the screen as we go through the day. Before we go through the tablets, I would like everyone with a tablet to take a moment to practice moving from one slide to the next. You will do this by tapping on the next button. The next screen you will see is the simulation screen. After students are settled in their storefronts, please make sure to introduce yourself. This can include your name, occupation, jobs you've had, your retirement plan, etc. Be sure to keep your name badge on for good communication with the students. Also, make sure to have students introduce themselves. Once this is completed, you will find a pencil case in your storefront with either a stack of red, green, or blue name tags. The color depends on which storefront you are assigned. Please make sure to give each student in your storefront one name tag. Have them use the markers in the pencil case to write their first names only. Please ask students to place these name tags on their outer shirt. Once everyone has a name tag, You may pass out the tablets to the students. These tablets will be turned on and stacked in your storefront. Every student will get one tablet. Please make sure that after tablets are passed out, the students sign out their tablet on the sign in, sign out sheet inside of your storefront on a brown clipboard. Please tell the students to only fill out the first 2 columns. The last column will be for the students to fill out at the end of the day. After students have signed out their tablets, they can launch the app and begin. After students have clicked the orange Enter button in the center of their screen, their tablets will immediately take them to their login screen. Once the students see the login screen, they will be asked to fill out their name, their school, their teacher, and their grade. Please ensure that all students understand that the teacher provided will be the lead teacher for the school. If the teacher that we provide is not the teacher that taught them the curriculum, that is okay, and they must click on the only teacher provided. It will also ask for their account number. Both account numbers and PIN numbers are on the back of the tablets. After typing in their 4-digit PIN number, there will be 6 lifestyle questions for the students to answer. There are no right or wrong responses, just student opinions or preferences. They should answer according to their personal thoughts or hopes for their future. After students answer the lifestyle questions, their persona page for the day will appear. The information on this page is random. As we've stated before, the students do not know what life they will get today. Please stop and discuss the information provided on their tablets. Many students struggle with the concept of credit score. On the next slide, we have provided talking points if you would like to use them to discuss with the students. Once the students are done discussing their life scenarios, the students will then click on the top left shadow figure and different avatars will appear. The students will pick one avatar for the day. The avatar does not have to look like them, they just have to pick one. Once students have picked their avatar, they will click the next button on the bottom right part of their screen. They will then come to their net monthly income screen. The students will drag the 3 taxes that are listed on the right to the center of the screen where the big red arrow is pointing, and they will see their taxes being taken out. In order for students to calculate their net monthly income, they must take their gross monthly income, then subtract their total monthly taxes, and that will give them their net monthly income after taxes. Once they click onto the box where they will type in the answer, a calculator will appear. After students have finished their net monthly income page, they will be ready to move on for their savings. With your students, when they are ready for the savings part of the day, please do not give them the code to move on to complete their savings until after you have had a group discussion with your students. This group discussion asks concepts the students have learned about inside the classroom, and this is a reminder before they begin their saving. If you would like to add your own questions or you would like to add on to these questions, volunteers, please feel free to do so. Once you've had a good discussion with your students and you feel that they are ready for their savings, please then give them the code 111 that is listed on your tablets, and the students will begin their savings. You will notice that as soon as students log in to start their savings portion of the day, a random question will pop up on their tablets. These are questions created from nationals to see how well prepared the students are for the day. Students are to answer these questions to the best of their abilities, and volunteers, you are not to help them answer these questions. Once the students answer the question, then it will take them to their savings page. On their savings page, the students will see their household net monthly income that they were just given on the previous page. They must use the calculator and they must calculate 5%, 10%, and 15% of their net monthly income. Volunteers, you have a cheat sheet on your tablets, and there will also be a cheat sheet inside of the volunteer binders if you or your students would like to refer to it. The answers must be whole numbers. You must round up or round down to the nearest dollar. After students have answered what their 5, 10, and 15% of their household net monthly income is, the students will then decide how much they would like to save for the month. The students can save anywhere between 2 and 15% of their household net monthly income. If they would like to choose exactly 5, 10 or 15% of their household net monthly income, they may retype one of the numbers that they just typed into a box. Once the students have decided how much they would like to save for the month, they must then allocate their savings for the month into 3 types of savings: retirement, emergency, and other funds. The 3 savings types must add up to be the total that they're saving for the month. If the students would like to save $200 for the entire month, they will break that number down into 3 smaller numbers. The 3 numbers they have put into their 3 different types of savings must add up to be their saving for the month. In this case, it would have to be $200. As students are distributing their money into retirement, emergency, and other savings, we have provided talking discussions about the 3 different savings types in order for students to distribute their money appropriately. After students have finished their savings page, their tablets will then ask them for a research master code. Volunteers, you have this code provided on your tablets. Once your students are finished, you may give them this code, and their tablet screens will then look like this. Once students are ready for research, please do not move forward. When your students' tablets look like this, please have the students click on the icon at the very top right of their screen labeled Life Scenario. Once they click on that icon, their tablets will take them back to their persona page. Students are to study their persona page and make sure that they know who they are for the day. A JA staff member will announce that there will be a quiz shortly. Once all the students in JA Finance Park are ready to begin research, a JA staff member will announce that all students and all volunteers must leave their storefronts and stand in front. Directions for research will then be given by a JA staff member to everyone at one time. Volunteers, when you see this screen on your tablets, you will be following the next slides. For research, the students will be visiting each storefront to learn about information pertaining to that storefront that will help them later on when they go to shop. Volunteers, depending on the day, you will either be staying in your storefront and repeating the information to every group of students that come to you, or you'll be walking with your students and you will be reading the information that is in each storefront. Once students receive the information, they will then type in a code to unlock that business. Their goal is to get the information from every storefront and unlock every business. When students begin research, their tablets will look like this. There will be a giant research card inside of every storefront. There will be information on the front and the back of each research card. Volunteers, you are to read the information to the students that is on the front and the back of the card. Once you are done reading the information, you are to then give them the research ID code that is on the bottom back of that card. If time permits, please make sure to then ask further questions to relate the card to their tablets. Once the students are told the business ID code, they will then tap on the storefront and their tablets will look like this. They will then type in the 3-digit code that you give them. Once students type in the code, some tabs will give them more information. There might be pictures and there might be a paragraph of information. Please note that these pictures and the words that are given are just to further their education on that storefront. Students are not buying anything. Their tablets will not allow it. There are 2 storefronts that the students will be applying for loans once they type in the codes. Those 2 storefronts are AutoNation and SunTrust Bank. The students will be applying for a transportation loan inside of AutoNation and a bank mortgage loan inside of SunTrust. Whether or not they get approved for these loans, they will not find out until the shopping phase. However, every student must apply. After tapping through their loan applications, the students will hit Submit Application and it will be completed. A JA staff member will walk around and assist during research to answer any questions you might have. Although you will be reading the research card that is inside of every single storefront, you will keep your volunteer tablet with you during research. This ensures that the tablet does not get misplaced, as you do have to use the tablets for the rest of the simulation. There will be 16 rotations, as there is 16 different storefronts in JA Finance Park. Once students have returned to their original storefronts, research will be done. A JA staff member will announce that all students are to go back inside of their home storefronts and continue with budgeting and shopping. When the students return to your storefronts, you will notice that your tablet has 2 different steps. If you check with the students and any of them are missing codes, the next slide will provide all of the codes. If the students have all the codes, you will skip the next slide and let the students begin budgeting. In order to create a budget, the students will click the Create Budget button on the bottom right of their screens. It will ask them for a transition code, and that code is 080. When the students start to create their budget, they will see a list on the left of items they have to budget for. These items are the same items that they just learned about during research. Budgeting and shopping is one of the hardest parts of the day for the students. This is because they now have to think about their life scenario, what they learned about during research, put them together, and budget for their needs and their wants. They will see on the left the list of items they are budgeting for. If, for any reason, they need more information or cannot remember what that item is, they can click on the word in the left-hand column. Once they click on the word, it will then take them back to their research page. It will then give them that paragraph of information or those pictures to help them understand what it is that they're budgeting for. In the middle 2 columns, the students will see a recommended minimum and recommended maximum dollar amount to budget. In the right-hand column, the students will see empty boxes. They will then type in the dollar amount that they would like to budget for that specific item. They should pick something in between their minimum and their maximum. All of their net monthly income that is labeled at the top of their tablets must be allocated, which means they are not allowed to move on until their left to allocate is 0. Please ensure that while students are budgeting, you are discussing budgeting to them. When each individual student in your storefront is ready for shopping, please give the students the transition code and let them begin shopping. That code is on your tablet labeled 456. There are 5 shopping guideline slides on your tablets. Please review the 5 slides before helping the students or as the students are shopping. As I previously stated, the students will stay inside of their storefronts and complete the shopping phase. Students will tap on every single tab labeled with the items they just budgeted for. Once they tap into each tab, it will then give them shopping selections, and they must make the best shopping selection for their life scenario. As students are shopping, they will always see a status bar at the top of their tablets, and they will see how much of their net monthly income has been spent, and they will also see how much can still be spent for all shopping items. While the students are shopping, they might go over their budget, and some students will stay within their budget. If a student is within their budget, their status bar will light up green. If their status bar lights up red, the students will be going over their budget. That does not mean the students cannot buy that specific item. That just means that the students will have to make a tough decision whether or not to go over their budget. Remember, the students only have a certain dollar amount that they can use to shop with, which is their net monthly income. Students can go back and forth between different stages to get more information and make adjustments. These icons to go through different stages are located at the top right of the students' tablets. For example, if the students would like to go and read their research phase again, the students can go back and reread the information to help them make a shopping decision. If the students would like to look at their life scenario, the students can look back at their life scenario to help them with their shopping. A few shopping reminders. Students will find out if they are approved or denied for a loan during the shopping phase. They will find out if they are approved or denied for the loans when they click into the Minto Housing tab and the AutoNation Transportation tab. There are a few tabs that are not required for shopping. Advanced Green and City Furniture are both considered optional. If the students do not wish to purchase something from Advanced Green or City Furniture, they must still click into the tabs, but then the students click Shopping Done and not click on any of the items purchased. This will still ensure that that specific tab says Shopping Done. In order for students to be completely done with shopping, every single tab must say Shopping Done in green. Students may not spend more than their net monthly income, However, some students will have leftover cash at the end. That is okay. If a student is completely done with shopping, please encourage that student to help other students that might be struggling in their storefront. Do not let your students move on to payment without a JA staff member announcement. We have provided some extra time questions if your students finish a little bit early. When your students are ready for payment, please do not let them move forward until a JA staff announcement is made. If you would like to ask your own questions about budgeting and shopping, you may do so. When a student is finished shopping, they will be ready for payment. Students are ready for payment when their tablets say Payment on the top right corner of their tablet screens. For payment, there are 2 ways that payment will be completed. However, your students' tablets will only let you complete it one way. Let me explain. Everyone, please take a look at the top example of how payment can be made. Students will make online payments for each shopping selection by tapping on each tab that states to be paid and typing in the business codes. Payment is not required for any tabs that state payment not required. This means that if there is time, we will let the students type in business ID codes to complete payment. If time does not permit, we will complete payment the following way. Everyone, please follow along at the bottom of your tablets. Students will make online payments for each shopping selection by tapping on each tab that states to be paid. The tab will change to state will be paid. Payments are not required for any tabs that state payment not required. If time does not permit, the JA staff member will make a change on the simulation so that the students do not have to type in payment codes. They will only tap on each tab to finish payment. After payment is completed, they must confirm all their payments by clicking Confirm Payments. After confirmation of all the payments is done, students will then re-answer the same 6 lifestyle questions they were asked at the beginning of the visit day, along with 2 additional questions. Students must answer these questions. Once students have answered the questions, they will see a budget review and spending analysis report of the day. Please encourage your students to review these 2 reports as these will be sent to their lead teacher. Please then ask your students what their final thoughts on the day have been, and then ask students to sign in their tablets. Once students sign in their tablets, they will then give their tablets back to you, and volunteers, please stack them up and make sure you have every tablet that you passed out this morning. If you enjoy your time today at Junior Achievement of South Florida, be sure to follow us, like, and share photos from today at JA South Florida. Use the hashtag JA South Florida, and we may share your photos on our websites.
At any time, please feel free to ask questions to any of our JA Finance Park staff members. Again, we appreciate your dedication to making a difference in the lives of tomorrow's leaders. Enjoy your JA Finance Park experience.